The way this happened, folks, is a small EPA-supervised work crew, as GatewayPundit explains it, inspecting the Gold King mine accidentally knocked a hole in a waste pit and released millions and millions of gallons of acidic liquid laden with toxic heavy metals. And there was a letter to the editor that was published the week before this happened in the Silverton Standard and the Miner local newspaper. And it was authored by a retired geologist 1 week before the EPA mine spill. And in that letter, which I'll read to you in a moment, he says how EPA officials would foul up the Animas River on purpose in order to secure SuperFund money. He said if the Gold King mine was declared a SuperFund site, it would essentially kill future development for the mining industry in the area. It would kill future development in the area. They would declare it a Superfund. The Obama EPA is vehemently opposed to mining and development in Alaska, Colorado, and so forth and so on. And I want to read you his letter in a moment because it's unbelievable how prescient this man was. Let me read you this man's letter to the editor. July 30, 2015, 1 week before the EPA punched a hole through this mine. Here's what he wrote. Letter to the editor. EPA plan is really a Superfund blitzkrieg. That's the title. To the editor. I came to Silverton this summer to enjoy my retirement, appreciate nature, and prospect the mountains for unique minerals. I came here to enjoy a simple life with no TV and no politics. But unfortunately, that has changed. Your EPA dilemma has caused my blood to boil. Again, this is before the EPA punched a hole in that mine. He wrote, based on my 47 years of experience as a professional geologist, it appears to me that the EPA is setting your town and the area up for a possible Superfund blitzkrieg. In regards to your meeting with the EPA on June 23, Mr. Hessmark, EPA's representative, his statement, we don't have an agenda, is either ignorant naivete or an outright falsehood. I am certain Mr. Hessmark's hydrologists have advised him what's going to happen when the Red and Bonita portals and plugged and the grand experiment begins with unknown and foreseeable results and possible negative consequences. He writes, here's the scenario that will occur based on my experience. Listen to this. Following the plugging, the exfiltrating water will be retained behind the bulkheads, accumulating at a rate of approximately 500 gallons per minute. As the water backs up, it will begin filling all connected mine workings and bedrock voids and fractures. As the water level inside the workings continues to rise, it will accumulate head pressure at a rate of 1 psi per each 2.31 feet of vertical rise. As the water continues to migrate through and fill interconnected workings, the pressure will increase. Eventually, without a doubt, the water will find a way out and will exfiltrate uncontrollably through connected abandoned shafts, drifts, raises, fractures, and possibly from talus on the hillsides. Initially, it will appear that the miracle fix is working. Hallelujah! But make no mistake, within 7 to 120 days, all of the 500 GPM flow will return to Cement Creek. Contamination may actually increase due to disturbance and flushing action within the workings. The grand experiment, in my opinion, will fail. And guess what? EPA Mr. Housemake will say then, gee, Plan A didn't work, so I guess we'll have to build a treatment plant at a cost to taxpayers of $100 million to $500 million. Who knows? Reading between the lines, I believe that has been the EPA's plan all along. The proposed Red and Bonita plugging plan has been their way of getting a foot in the door to justify their hidden agenda for construction of a treatment plant. After all, with a budget of $8.2 billion and 17,000 employees, the EPA needs new big projects to feed the beast and justify their existence. I would recommend that anyone who owns a home, property, water well, or spring in the Cement Creek drainage take water samples ASAP to protect themselves from groundwater changes that may be caused by the EPA plugging operation. God bless America, God bless Silverton, Colorado, and God protect us from the EPA. Dave Taylor, Farmington. Now, he didn't know exactly how this would occur, but he knew it would occur. And it did occur. The EPA says that it accidentally knocked a hole in the waste pit. What this writer said the week before is they're building up a toxic brew that will find its way out of that mine. They're doing exactly the wrong thing. The mine accidentally knocked a hole in the waste pit, we're told, the EPA. This needs to be investigated by the Republican Congress, by both houses, thoroughly and completely. This accident that occurred. And they need to bring this gentleman up who wrote the letter. Dave Stott. How is it that he could predict, in essence, not with particularity, but good enough, what was going to take place, and look what did take place. And now he's right. Watch how the EPA comes in, gives this area some type of SuperFund status, in essence nationalizes it, prevents development, and does exactly what it wanted to do from the beginning. Who will be prosecuted? Who will go to jail? Anybody held personally liable for the damage that's been done? Or we, the stooges, are we going to have to pay the bill? Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are other attempts, people trying to mine gold and other natural resources. And you watch how the EPA uses this, their own conduct, their own gross negligence at best, to try and stop the others. Like the case in Alaska I told you about moments ago, where people are trying to mine gold. Who's going to be held to account? Where's Barack Obama? What tee is he on? Well, it's nighttime. Do they have nighttime golf in Martha's Vineyard? I'm not surprised if they do. What's he doing now? Probably putting down a few brewskis, smoking a cigarette, maybe taking a little toot here and there. I wonder if he's with the family, which seems like a rarity to me. Maybe they're chowing down on some lobster and blueberry pie with some vanilla ice cream. You know, the sort of food that kids in our school lunch program are allowed to eat. And I'm sure he's rubbing shoulders with lots and lots of rich white people. Oh, yes. He's very comfortable around very rich white people. Martha's Vineyard, Palm Springs, Boulder, Colorado, Aspen, you name it. He never vacations where there's a lot of, may I say, minorities. Why is that? What's with our first black president? Some of you, not many, but some of you are saying, why are you talking like this? I'm talking like a liberal. I'm talking like Barack Obama. Look at the company he keeps rather than the propaganda he spews. He wants to nationalize the suburbs because they're not diverse enough. And yet, when they go on vacation, and when it comes to Disney, what do they say? You're looking for the happiest place on earth, Mr. Producer? He's looking for the whitest place on earth. Nothing particularly wrong with that. Just thought I'd point it out. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.